Hey guys, this is Martha. I received my new Aussie clay yesterday and I want to do a video review. So here is the premium Desert Sun, which I will be using. The premium clays were designed by the Aussie clay maker to accommodate the needs of teachers mostly. And yeah, let's get started. First of all, this is the new packaging. The old packaging is like this, so it looks really nice, I think. It says here premium Aussie metal clay, the color of the clay Desert Sun, which is a red bronze. Then here's the amount. It's 100 gram divided into two 50-gram packages for easier mixing, and it's possible to do standard and super fast fire on it. Super fast fire, I haven't tried it yet, but basically you can do torch burn off of the binding agent and fire it for a less time than the usual firing time. And okay, let's just open this up. Here we have the two packages of 50 gram each. The instructions are quite long. Let me just read them for a second. Okay, so I have checked out this instruction sheet. It's really extensive. It starts out with a safety warning, so you're supposed to wear a dust mask, for example. Then it goes on to the mixing, and there's a difference between mixing standard clay and Superflex. I only have standard clay so far, so I'll work with that. Here's general instructions on storing, rehydrating, the shrinkage approximately, the firing, and some things about different burn off methods. And here it states the test pieces you're supposed to do, test strips, and the back is basically a really extensive manual on firing schedules to get you started. So this came out really good. I think it's good for beginners also, because it covers basically every question you might run into when you're starting out. And if you have further questions, you can just check out the Facebook group or contact the Aussie team. So let's just get to mixing. I'll just wear my dust mask. So it says to start, usually I just go by, usually I just go by eyeballing, but it says you're supposed to start with like 5 milliliters of water, so that's what we will do here. Let's just get this into my container. Okay, I use distilled water as recommended by Aussie clay, and let's just put 2 and another 2 milliliters and a bit more maybe. A bit more. Okay, as you can see, this mixes up really nicely. I'll just put off my dust mask again. It comes together really fast, so I think even faster than the not premium clay. Oh, it feels really soft, softer than the non-premium clay, really pleasant to touch. Let's just ball it up a bit. So usually I find it easier to just crumble the remaining clay onto don't do that with the scalpel. I always scrape it off my fingers, but I do not recommend it. Yeah, I usually just crumble all the remaining pieces onto cling foil, and I'll just mix it in the foil because it just holds the moisture better. I found that your fingers tend to soak up moisture really badly, so I just put that all into the foil. And the rest that gets left behind here, I'll just save it and see how it rehydrates. So the Aussie Clay states that it will be mixable and usable right afterwards, and I think it will be. The non-premium clay definitely is, and this one looks even nicer. It's getting to a really soft and smooth consistency. Just distribute the moisture a bit more, but it's getting together really nicely. Just a bit of oil. So if you can see this, it's already ready to work, I would say. Okay, so the first thing I want to try is molding. I have a self-made silicone mold here of some plant texture. I just take a brush and dab some olive oil onto it. And this texture is quite deep, so I will roll it out 7 cards thick. Here. My texture plates are a bit irregular because I make them myself, so just try and use my fingers to smooth it out. So, big reveal. Okay. And now I will try to, which I usually don't, but I will try to cut it out with a needle. Oh, it cuts really well. I don't know if you can see it. I'll just make a bit more of a zoom, but if you look here, there's hardly any clay that gets pushed before the needle. It just goes to the sides, so I think you will have to do very little cleanup, which is definitely better than it was for the non-premium clay. It was okay, but this one is really good for needle tool cutouts. Okay, just remove that. I think I might have made the clay a bit too moist, but it's okay. Okay, I'll just put this to dry and see how it is for sanding and for a bit of improvement later on. So what I always found a bit difficult was deeper molds, like this tree twig mold I made. So I had a problem with pieces that would distort when taken out of the mold and not fully dry. So I'll just try out the premium clay, see how it goes. Okay, that was not a problem at all. You can see it has all the texture, it has oops, held its form quite well. Oh, and I might have squashed my mold a bit, but as you can see, let's just show this. The clay, if it falls together accidentally, even if you press, it won't stick, so you can just pull it apart again and rescue it, so to say. I just try my very last mold, which is this seashell mold. It's quite deep. Okay, it comes out really fast and without any distortion. I think this clay is very useful for deeper molds and for delicate pieces that you don't want to distort when you take them out of the mold. Something that has also pleasantly surprised me is the working time of this Desert Sun. I always find copper clays and copper containing clays, like the Desert Sun also has a higher copper content, I think, thinking of the reddish color. I always found them to be quite dry, and if you work with them they would dry out really fast, and it's definitely not the case with this Desert Sun premium clay. It's still quite soft. Don't think you can see it on the video, but if I press it, it won't have any cracks or signs of drying out, so I would say this recipe for the premium clays is definitely an improvement to the original clay, which is nice. So I just see how it behaves if you want to do small details like tree branches or twigs. cuts very well. It hardly sticks to the blade. It's almost like the outermost layer dries quite quickly, but not in a way that impairs the working time. As you can see, it is still very soft in the inside, so you can just take tools and shape it. Like this. I think that's also an improvement compared to the original recipe of the clay. So I think it has a longer working time. Yep. So the last thing I want to test for now is rehydrating. I still have some remains of dried clay in my bowl here, so I just scrape it all down and see how well it mixes up. Let's take a small amount of this clay. I think it mixes up really nicely. Just a bit of mixing and squashing, and you already have a paste which you can use, or I think you could also use less water and more clay and just rehydrate it into a clay form. I think if you let this sit for a while it will get even smoother, but it's already quite nice. So all in all, I can say I'm really happy with what I've seen of this clay so far. The premium really is an improvement to the original recipe. I think it mixes up faster. It has an even smoother consistency, and the original clay is also really smooth. It has a longer working time, as in that it does not dry out as quickly, which is really good, especially for the clays with high copper content. It can be rehydrated. It holds its shape when you make molds really well. And now I will just let it all dry. I have made some test strips. Here I've made a coil and 2 short test strips, and I will try to make a torch burn off of the binding agent in one of the strips. How you do this can be seen on the Aussie YouTube channel, and it will be my first time, so we'll see how that goes. And the other clay strip will just go into the kiln for the burn off. I burn off on one of these wire racks, and yeah, then I'll just fire with the temperature that I have used for the original Desert Sun, and then we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so my kiln has cooled down and I took out my test strips. This one is the torch burn off, and this is the kiln burn off. I'll just dab some water on it and see how it goes. Looks good. The water is just pooled, it doesn't get soaked in, and I'll just try and bend my torch fired piece. Okay, it got a little crack here, but it looks quite good so far. Maybe there's a difference to my not torch fired one. Okay, this one feels definitely better. There's no crack, and I can bend it all the way around. So maybe I made some mistake my torch firing, I'm not sure. But this one is looking really good. There's no lumps, so I think it's not overfired, not underfired. I think it's okay. And it makes a nice metallic sound. Just wanted to show you the first pieces I have made from the new Aussie Premium Desert Sun clay, and this is all made from my own plant textures. As you can see, the textures came out really nice, lots of detail, and you hear the pieces are definitely centered. They can be bent and domed a bit, and yeah, all in all I can say I'm really happy with this clay. I will have to practice the torch burn off a bit, because my first testing was not 100% perfect, but I mean, it all takes a bit of practice, I guess. And yeah, that's it so far. I'm sure I will discover a lot of different things I can do with the new Aussie clay, but that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this review and got a good picture of the new clay and what it can do. And yeah, just let me know what you think of this review, because it was my first one. And yeah, if you try out the Aussie clays, I hope I see you in the Aussie Facebook group. Thank you for watching. Bye.